Hello, and welcome to this session on Task 2 of the EdTPA. My name is Dr. Jason Fitzgerald, and I'm a professor at Monmouth University. If you haven't yet watched my video introducing the EdTPA or my video on Task 1, pause this video and take a moment to watch it. I promise that they are short and will give you a brief overview of the EdTPA, which will help you contextualize this video. Task 2 of the EdTPA is the task that scares people the most, because this is the task where you will submit videos of your instruction. Don't let this task scare you. It truly isn't as bad as it sounds. You will need to upload 1 or 2 videos, about 20 minutes in total, although this varies from handbook to handbook, so look that up, showing your classroom climate and your use of academic language in the classroom. What this looks like is demonstrating 5 important aspects of your class. Respect and rapport in your classroom, learning that is directed toward the central focus of the learning segment, eliciting and building upon students' responses, connecting learning with students' prior academic knowledge, as well as their personal, cultural, and community assets, and using evidence from your instruction to change your teaching practice. As you look at this list, you are probably familiar with most of what these things mean and how to achieve them in your classroom. For example, you've already learned how to design backwards design learning segments. You just need to enact those lessons in your class. You also know how to use a variety of strategies to elicit student responses, like dipsticking and random calling strategies. You also know the importance of connecting learning to what students already know. In short, this task is really asking you to do your thing. There are a couple of terms, however, that I'd like to review so that you feel confident in your abilities to give the EdTPA what it wants. Respect and rapport are things that come from actual relationships with students. As you know, good teaching begins with relationships, and having those relationships will enable your students to take the academic risks you want them to take in order to grow. The challenge with demonstrating this aspect of instruction is that it isn't just about good students, whatever that means. The EdTPA isn't looking for silent classes. What they're looking for is the ways that students and teachers interact with each other, even if they're passionately disagreeing. Do people tear each other down? Cry? Throw things? Silence others? Or do people listen fully to one another, banter, smile, engage, take academic risks? You need to create the latter environments, and that's how you're going to show and be able to cite respect and rapport in your videos. Eliciting student responses is something that can be planned for, but building on students' responses isn't. Building on students' responses takes in-action skill. One way that you can build on students' responses is by helping them contextualize and decontextualize their language. Carl Matten argues that we need to create semantic waves in our class. For example, we all know those teachers and professors who talk up at a really high abstract level, so high that students can't follow what they're saying. That would be the people, if you look at this graph, talking on A1, super high, super abstract, super decontextualized. We also know teachers that use everyday language to teach everything and rarely help students understand technical or abstract vocabulary, let alone sentence and discourse structures. That would be these people at A2, really low level, always concrete, always using small everyday words that don't have a lot of meaning. Your job is to help students contextualize the technical and abstract language so that they can get it, and to help them convert everyday understandings to technical and abstract language so that they can use them in academic speaking and writing. Carl Matten in his work often cites that teachers are really good at decontextualizing, so going from that high level, and you see the dip down, into taking, contextualizing the abstract language to everyday language, but they don't always help students decontextualize, so bring it all the way back up and helping them create the academic language that they want to create in the future. We need to do both. Of course, all of this is to be taken at a developmentally appropriate level, but this is our task, especially in building upon students' responses. Personal, cultural, and community assets are things that all students bring to the classroom. What the EdTPA is getting at here is that they want you to be teaching from an asset model of instruction rather than a deficit model. If you haven't done so already, have a local adult in your school community take you on a tour of the neighborhood. Have them show you the best that the neighborhood has to offer. Have them show you things that need to be changed, and have them introduce you to people who are actually doing the changing. Learning the assets that your students personally, culturally, and communally bring to the classroom will open up some of the best discussions and learning you could possibly ask for. Task 2 is really about how you teach real students. Remember, throughout the EdTPA, but also throughout your entire teaching career, that you are teaching individual students and the collective. Don't get wrapped up and just focus on one or the other. This is a both-and situation. Doing so will allow you to direct your instruction to creating positive, warm, welcoming classroom environments, even in rigorous, inquiry-based instructional settings.